Hello everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I am Ian, father of the bride. And I'm very proud to be here to celebrate the wedding of my beautiful daughter, Kirsty. And my new son-in-law, Matt. Welcome to the family. On behalf of Kirsty and Matt's families, I would like to thank you all for coming here today, and we appreciate the fact that we have all travelled from very far and wide. Right, Kirsty, where do we start? Right. The night of Kirsty's arrival was a rather funny car journey to the James Cook Hospital, with Mum kneeling on the back seat of the car, crossly asking how many more roundabouts there were to the hospital. Anyway, when we got to the hospital, we were greeted by the midwife, and Christine saying, "Oh, thank God for that. Please, can you give me some pain relief?" To which the midwife replied, "Oh, no. You're too far gone. I'm afraid it's all natural for you." And at that point, I thought, I'm a dead man. So I'll just go and put the car away, Christine. So I look at he was, "Oh yeah, you just clear off." Anyway, when I got back to the delivery suite, after a lot of gas and air and a few choice words of endearment, the midwife declared, "Congratulations, Christine, it's a baby girl." So after my little happy dance around the delivery suite, I looked over to see Christine nursing Kirsty and a big beaming smile on her face, and I thought, I'm safe now. As a little girl, Kirsty was such a pleasure, so happy and so bubbly. But on the night time, she would sit in her bed with a book balanced on her head, reading a bedtime story to her mum. And through the day, she would walk around the house with a book on her head for hours on end, effortlessly, with her big brother Callum chasing up behind her, trying to knock it off her head, and then running off shouting, "Favourite child." She also had a love of dressing up, apart from one Christmas morning. I'd been on night shifts, and I was awoken to a standoff between Kirsty and her mother. Kirsty was refusing to wear this beautiful and rather expensive blue dress that Christina bought for the day. Kirsty saying, "No, I'm only wearing the petticoat. I want to look like the Christmas fairy. I'm not wearing the dress." So at which point Christine just threw her arms in the air and said, "She's your bloody daughter, you dress her." Now then, as you know, at the age of 11, tragedy struck to my household. We lost our mum to that horrible illness, cancer. So I'm just thinking to myself, what can I do with a 14-year-old boy and an 11-year-old girl? But out of adversity comes hope. And in that hope, there's a few people here tonight that I really must thank on behalf of my family. Starting with my family, Andrew, Maureen, David and Linda, Stuart and Maxine, Yvonne and David, and not forgetting our big sister, Anne, the matriarch of the family. Then we come to the rest of us. Right, Auntie Julie. You were never a second cousin. You will only ever be known as Auntie Julie. Uncle Scotty. Our very own Mr. Tech Guy, our computer guru, and also my very best pal. I must thank my next door neighbour Maxine. Not only did she nurse Christine for the last 2 years of her life, morning, noon and night, and reading the Bible to her on a night time, which I know Mum got great comfort from. She's been looking after myself, Callum and Kirsty ever since. We always turn to her when we need anything. But did you know that Kirsty has a real life fairy godmother? A lovely lady called Sylvia Dennison, along with her lovely husband Dave and their beautiful daughter Abigail, that Kirsty's maid of honour. Sylvia took the mantle of looking after Christine, and by did she do a good job, involving in everything that her family did. And I really can't thank you all enough on behalf of Callum, Kirsty and myself, because God knows where we'd be without you. At school, Kirsty excelled in everything from athletics to gymnastics to netball to hockey and even horse riding. And after gaining her A levels at school, Kirsty was ready for university. So off she went to Leeds to start a new chapter in her life, making lots of new friends, enjoying student life and studying really hard at her degree, or at least that's what she told me. It was at university that Kirsty first met Matt. They were studying similar teaching courses, and soon they started dating. So I tasked Callum and Olivia the job of checking Matt out. So after a good night out in Liverpool, Callum came back with a glowing report. Yeah, Daddy's all right. So after gaining her degrees, Kirsty started her life as a teacher. But Matt, being the adventurous type, he ditched physical education and joined West Yorkshire Police. They have their home in Leeds, complete with their big daft dog Bailey. And I'm so proud watching them both excel in their careers and achieving great things. They make a lovely couple. They work really hard together and are developing a really strong relationship. Because as you know, Kirsty can talk for England and Matt can sleep for England. So I think they're going to be just fine. Right, Mr. and Mrs. Warbrick, the road is long, but it isn't always easy. But always remember this, that your families will always be there for you, as I know you will be there for each other. And I can't wait to see what you both can achieve together. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to join me in a toast to the happy, happy couple, Kirsty and Matt. I did it.
On behalf of Matthew and Kirsty, I'd like to thank you all for being here today to share in their wedding ceremony. Through the words they will exchange today, they are making a lasting commitment to each other, and through your presence, you're expressing your support for them. So on behalf of the North Yorkshire Registration Service, I'd like to give you a warm welcome to the Tithe Barn here on the beautiful Bolton Abbey estate. This place in which we are now met has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages, and you are gathered here to witness the joining in matrimony of Matthew Daniel Warbrick and Kirsty Louise Marr. Marriage in this country is the union of two people voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. Matthew and Kirsty wish to marry, for in each other's company they have found fulfillment and they have found love. And as a consequence of this love, they have drawn closer to each other and now wish to affirm publicly their relationship and offer each other the security that comes from vows sincerely made and faithfully kept.
When you were children, you talked like children, but now that you've grown, you should be done with childish things and put them away. When you were children, you looked into a mirror that gave only a blurred reflection of reality. But with love and maturity, you shouldn't be afraid to look into that mirror and see each other face to face. Be swift like the wind in loving each other. Be brave like the sea in loving each other. Be gentle like the breeze in loving each other. Be patient like the sun who waits and watches the four changes of the earth in loving each other. Be wise like the roaring of the thunderclouds and lightning in loving each other. Be shining like the morning dawn in loving each other. Be proud like the tree who stands without bending in loving each other. Be brilliant like the rainbow colours in loving each other. Now, forever, forever, there will be no more loneliness because your worlds are joined together with this world. Forever, forever.
The Institute of Marriage must be entered into freely, voluntarily, and with the full and unreserved consent of you both. Therefore, you, Matthew, take Kirsty here present to be your lawful wedded wife.
I do.
Do you, Kirsty, take Matthew here present to be your lawful wedded husband?
To love is to share life together, to build special plans just for two, to work side by side and then smile with pride as one by one dreams all come true. To love is to help and encourage with smiles and sincere words of praise, to take time to share, to listen and care in tender, affectionate ways. To love is to have someone special, one you can always depend, to be there through the years, sharing laughter and tears, as a partner, a lover, a friend. To love is to make special memories of moments you love to recall. Of all the good things that sharing life brings, love is the greatest of all.
The purpose of marriage is that you may always love, care for and support each other through all the joys and the sorrows of life, and that love is fulfilled in a relationship of permanent and continued commitment. We trust that these things come true for you both. Matthew and Kirsty, you have both made the declarations prescribed by law. You have made a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your family, friends and witnesses all gathered here today in your honour. It is therefore a privilege and pleasure to tell you you are now lawfully married, husband and wife. Congratulations.
So I think the first time that I met Matty was when we were about 6 or 7 at Hoylake Rugby Club. I can't really remember if we got on, but I do remember a coach saying, if you stuck his head on my body, we'd probably move up a few age groups. So I've only had the one slight fallout with Matt. I think you'll remember it, Matt. I returned to sixth form after a year out. I was met with a text after my little interview stating, listen mate, just because you're coming back doesn't mean everyone's suddenly going to be mates again. You're in the year below now. I thought, oh, it's a bit harsh, isn't it? It was music to my ears that summer to hear that he also failed year 12 and would be joining me in the year below. So off to sixth form we went the following September. Every day Matt would turn up at my house at 8 AM for a lift to school, which he never paid petrol for. And every day I'd roll out of bed, about 5 to 9, met with a bloke who, well, until today I thought it was pretty hard to cry, but there he was at the bottom of my stairs in tears as I got us a perfect run of late marks for an entire term, so I do apologise for that. Sadly, after sixth form we parted ways. I went off to Chester Uni and Matt went to Leeds to study sports science. Very quickly turned to PE once he found out that he had to turn up and put in a bit of effort, so PE it was. And then began what I would consider the most annoying version of Matt that I'm yet to meet, the club promoter. Every day, rain or shine, you'd find him outside the nightclub Prism in Leeds. He then graduated and you can now find him every day, rain or shine, outside the prison in Leeds. So it worked out well. So it did get quite boring. But it is what did eventually lead me to meet the beautiful Kirsty. I came up for a planned weekend thinking lads trip. Matt was all for it and then dropped me off at Kirsty's house on her birthday, put me in the kitchen, said, oh, this is my girlfriend, it's her birthday, and then I can't swear, he buggered off. He buggered off to Prism nightclub for 5 hours to stand in the rain and left me in Kirsty's kitchen. Kirsty, firstly, I want to say how in awe I am of how beautiful you look today. Doesn't she look amazing? I am equally amazed that you've managed to make the man with a heart of stone fall so head over heels in love with you. It's cliche to say that you're made for each other, but I can hand on heart say I've never seen two people with such military precision at ordering food. It's some feat. We go Nando's every month, for those who don't know, and it's ridiculous. They're eating before I've even opened the app, so. Jokes aside though, it is honestly such a privilege to be involved today. I love every minute that my family spends with yours, and it's such an honour to be both of your friends, so thank you. Matty. There's no one else on this planet that could have got me wearing a tux willingly. As you can see, I took it off pretty quickly. There's also no one else I'd rather have as my best mate. You're a piece of home away from home. Having you in Leeds makes that life a little bit more enjoyable for me. I'm so grateful of the effort and the relationship that you're starting to build with my daughter. And it's probably the first and the last time that you'll ever hear me say it to you, because, well, you'll just laugh, but I love you, mate. You're a top friend. So, in fear of me crying and Matt having a good laugh, can everyone please stand and raise a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Warbrick? Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, on behalf of my wife and I just want to say thank you for being here with us today. It really wouldn't be the same without having you all of us here celebrate our big day. I think we have people from each corner of the country and even some from abroad too. We will always be appreciative of the efforts you have all made to help celebrate our big day. However, before I begin, I just want to acknowledge and think about those who can't be with us here today, because sometimes the places where they are just that little bit too far. You will always be in our thoughts, as always, and we can't wait to see you soon again. And I think it's only right to start my thanks with a person who got the wedding ball rolling with his blessing, and that's my now father-in-law, Ian. Ian, there's two things which really stick out in my memory that I really owe to you. The first being the fact that you gave me your blessing to marry your daughter, Kirsty, which in turn has made me the happiest man in the world. The second being the fact that you introduced me to the borough delicacy that is the chicken parmo. And I'm not going to rank one above another because that would not be fair. So Ian, for both of those things, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sure most of the gents can agree with me when I say it's never easy meeting your girlfriend's dad and family for the first time, especially when they refer to themselves as the Mar Mafia. However, from day one, Ian welcomed me into his home and his family, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. As a token of my thanks, I promise to always love and care for your little girl. Ian has not only been an incredible father to Kirsty and Callum, but he is also one of life's true gents. The lessons he has taught Kirsty and Callum are evident in everything they do in life. They are both so respectful, hardworking and trustworthy, and I know you'll be so proud of both of them. So I just want to say thank you again, not only for accepting me into your family, but for raising the most amazing daughter, who I can now proudly call my wife. So thank you. I know this next part will likely make Kirsty cry, but I hope it's with tears of happiness. It wouldn't feel right for me doing this speech and not thanking Kirsty's mum, Christine. Whilst I may have never met her, I know that she has helped shape Kirsty into the wonderful person she is today. Whenever anyone speaks about Christine, whether it be Kirsty, Callum, Ian or Auntie Julie, or anyone else, everything is said with a smile and said from a place of love and fond memories. I've never heard anyone spoken about in such an amazing way, and for that reason alone, I know Christine must have been an incredible mum, wife and friend.
So everyone, please raise your glasses to an amazing woman, to Christine and Ma. Thank you. Cheers. I then want to thank my mum and dad. It's only as I get slightly older and look back on my childhood that I realise just how lucky I was. I want to thank you both for the endless love, support and guidance over the years. It's helped make me the person I am today. So, if you think I'm a bit of a knob, my parents are partially to blame. Dad, there are some father and son things we never really got to do, like teaching me to shave or taking me for my first pint. And that's not through any fault of your own or the fact you worked away. It's primarily down to the fact that I'm yet to grow any facial hair and the fact that you drink pints by half measures. Despite that, there is so much you have taught me in life, and for that I'll forever be grateful. I am so privileged to have had such a close relationship with you and so many happy memories together. From sitting in your house playing Colin McRae Rally on the PlayStation 1 to our yearly trips to Devon, and more recently our trips away to Rome to watch the rugby. Honestly, I will never forget them, and I hope there's many more to come. Mum, for those that know you, I know they would all agree with me when I say that you are the most selfless, caring and generous person I've ever met. Both Chris and I are so lucky to call you our mum, and I know just how much you mean to Kirsty too. When I was younger, I don't think I truly appreciated just how hard you worked, not just at work, but at home as a mum too. You are always the voice of reason whenever an issue arises, and your calm, caring approach to life has touched so many. So Mum and Dad, thank you for everything, and I hope you're as proud to call me your son as I am to call you my parents. And then I just want to thank Kirsty's maid of honour, Abby, and my best man, Henry, and the other bridesmaids and groomsmen here today. Not only do you all look absolutely incredible, but you have all helped in so many ways, and today wouldn't have been possible without each and every one of you. So from Kirsty and I, thank you. Now to my wife. When I was younger, I would have said I was not an emotional person, and my mum often said I had a swinging brick for a heart. However, when I think and speak about Kirsty, I'm so happy to embrace those emotions because she is simply the most perfect person I've ever met, both inside and out. For those that don't know how we met, I first saw Kirsty stood outside our university accommodation. I think it probably said a lot about who we were at the time. There Kirsty was, stood outside our accommodation, waiting to go to her lectures. And then there was me, rolling in from a night out with my worst influence, Mr. Scott Dodson. I'd love to say it was love at first sight, and I turned to Scott and said, "That's my future wife right there." However, that wasn't the case. I was likely on a come down and I just said to Scott, "She's fit." I couldn't comprehend at the time, and I still struggle to now, that the girl I'd just seen was my future wife, and someone who would love me unconditionally for the years that followed. You are the most incredible woman I've ever met. Your kindness, strength and grace inspire me, and I'm in awe of all that you do and the person that you are. I appreciate I'm not always the easiest to love or live with. I am messy. I repeatedly drop all my clothes on the floor despite being told off for this on a daily basis. My job means that I miss birthdays, Christmases, family events, and at times we go days without seeing each other. None of this is taken for granted, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being my rock. Thank you for always being there for me no matter what, and thank you for always cleaning my side of the bed. Kirsty, when I say I love you more, I don't mean I love you more than you love me. What I mean is that I love you more than the bad days ahead of us. I love you more than any fight we will ever have. I love you more than any amount of distance keeping us apart. I love you more than the days where we pass like the chips in the night due to my shift work. I love you more than anything. I want you to know that when I say I love you, I don't say it out of habit. I say it as a reminder to you of this day and the promises we made when we got married. You are the best thing that's ever happened to me, my darling wife. I love you. Everyone, please raise your glasses. Let's stand. To my wife, to the new Mrs. Warbrick, to Kirsty.
Stepping out of the shadow in my room, caught between cowboy clouds and misty moon. Silver dress, sparkle eyes, crystal blue. Stepping out of the shadow in my room, caught between cowboy clouds and misty moon. Silver dress, sparkle eyes, crystal blue. Stepping out of the shadow in my room, caught between cowboy clouds and misty moon. Silver dress, sparkle eyes, crystal blue. I was lost to the menace of the mind, sucker punched by love most of my life. Told myself I would always toe the line. Tripped on love and fell, you shook me out my shell. Now I know you well. Tripped on love and fell, you shook me out my shell. Now I know you well. I fell for you. I fell for you. Life can switch from light to dark. Loving you, that's the easy part. I can